Um, there's a difference between an attorney and a lawyer. Um, there's also a difference between a lawyer and a legal advocate. Uh, an attorney, when you break down the word, the first word, the base word is called attorn, attorn, and to attorn something means to transfer property. So um, an attorney is someone who transfers property. And when you look at who they work for, an attorney was someone who transferred property into the possession of the king. So when you look at attorneys now, attorneys are actually officers of the court. Um, their first duty is to the court and not their client. Um, but what they do is when you take an attorney, you lose your right to speak in the court, even though all these state constitutions say you and your counsel have the right to be heard. For the most part, when you take an attorney, you tell them that you're not able to speak for yourself. And but you have to also understand what's going on in the court that you're in. But this is just about attorneys and lawyers. Attorneys are someone who transfer you into the jurisdiction of the court because they're basically that's their job, is to bring you into the jurisdiction of the court and basically strip you of your money. Now you have a lawyer. A lawyer is someone who is not, by definition, is someone who is knowledgeable in the law and can advise you in the law. That's basically what they can tell you, what it is, what's going on, what may be your best course of action, what they can give you some insight on what's going on. That's what a lawyer is, someone who is knowledgeable in the law. Then you have a legal advocate, which is what attorneys are pretending to be. A legal advocate is someone who fights for your rights. They fight for whatever you have going on. If you have a lawsuit against this car company, like I have, a legal advocate is the one who fights for you in the courts and actually fights the car company. I guess I would be considered a lawyer and a legal advocate because I'm doing both of what's going on with that. And as example, we had one of our nationals in Tennessee. She had a case. It was a traffic case where she filed a motion. She was into a little, filing or whatever. And so she filed a motion to dismiss the case based on the fact that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, all of this and that. But what she did, she forgot to sign it. So when she got to court, the judge, and she recorded it, the judge threatened her with contempt of court if she did not come back with an attorney. Now, remember what I told you an attorney does. He transfers you into the jurisdiction of the court. She was challenging the jurisdiction of the court. Well, he told her he was going to hold her in contempt and did all this tough talking and stuff to her. As the chief representative or president of the Moorish Republic, it's my job to protect our nationals. So after she let me hear the recording and what all was said, I went back. I typed up another motion to dismiss. This time I signed it as a witness. I also typed up a judicial notice, basically breaking down how he violated all the canons of judicial conduct, how he violated her rights and all of these things, and how he was rude, and we're not going to stand for it. And basically,
can I ask you a question, brother?
Let him finish, King. Let him finish, King. Let him finish, King.
Okay.
So This one she took to the court, filed it. She said the next time she came back to the court, there was a different judge, there was a different prosecutor. And the judge, he had the motion in front of him. He told him that this motion has been sitting here for a month. Do they have anything to say about it? There was nothing they could say about it. And basically the motion challenged the subject matter jurisdiction of the court based on the nature of the statutes that they're accusing her of violating, and the nature of the proceedings of the court, and which are quote unquote quasi criminal. There's no such thing as a criminal case. All these cases out here are actually quasi criminal. But long story short, the motion was a motion to dismiss nolle prosequi, NOLLEPROSEQUII. But basically it's a motion for the prosecutor to say we cannot prosecute this case. Long story short, we won 2 times in Tennessee, and the case was dismissed nolle prosequi because they didn't have subject matter jurisdiction. Now, that same situation happened in Texas. The Texas court, which was another one of our nationals, was down there. The Texas court totally chose to ignore it. They ignored everything. And so when I talked to the clerk of the court and asked them why it hasn't been filed, she said it's been filed, but instead of filing them as motions, they got around it by filing them as correspondence. Correspondence, the courts don't have to react to correspondence. It's almost like sending a letter. An affidavit, they consider correspondence. That's why not many people have any success in just filing affidavits. You have to file motions and other things along with those affidavits, because the affidavits only make a statement. Motions or pleadings are telling the court to do something. So, but yeah, just to say that we have won cases. We in Tennessee, but Texas, no, they chose to ignore it and try to play crazy about it. Philadelphia, we have another national up there. They chose to ignore it and try to play crazy about it. The federal court in Texas, I opened up a habeas corpus. They tried to give me the runaround about, I had to be an attorney or I had to get permission from the court to file a habeas on his behalf, on behalf of a national of the Moorish Republic. Well, I went back at them and said the habeas law, United States Code, says that I can file a habeas for anyone to get them out. So they played the attorney game. They played they play these games with the attorneys to try to disregard what you say, and they become real disrespectful when you prove that you know more than their attorneys. I just wanted to add a little bit to what you had said, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
I want to do this for the audience. All right, this is for the audience.
Islam.
There are the same individual uses the word attorney, or this is for the audience because we got to provide clarity. Mm-hmm. I know you provided the definition of attorney and a lawyer. I'm not going there. I want the audience to know the same individuals who went to those law schools. They use both words. They use both words. That's because you have to say that, all right? Because they will leave away. I'm telling you, brother. I'm telling you. I've been doing this long enough. They will leave away and say, Menon said. All right, hear me out, y'all. Those same folks that graduated from law school, they use the words interchangeably.
I just wanted to ask Menes a question to solidify. Menes, based on your studies and all this stuff you're doing, right? Ain't all of that rooted in legal principles and concepts?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's um for example, I have a case against the treasurer's office here for sending me a fake deed or a voided out deed when they stole my house. Um, those are commercial principles, because we were in a commercial transaction where I bought the house and they sent me a fake deed or a voided out deed and sold the house to someone else. But commercial principles govern that action. Um, in the action that I have against the United States, international principles govern that action. Or they're going to try to make it a domestic thing, but no, international principles govern this case because it's dealing with two nations, the chief representative of the Moorish Republic and the United States, two separate people. We are not the same. So, yes, all of that is rooted in principles, one legal principle or another, whether it's common law, commerce, equity, admiralty, religious, all of those principles that you talked about earlier. Everything that I'm doing now is founded upon one of those principles. Nothing out here is willy-nilly, or you will find yourself spinning your wheels if you are not attaching yourself or attaching your claim to one of those principles.
I just wanted to show the importance of the principles. You see what I'm saying? This is why I'm saying you have to understand he beating cases not by fluke. He understands the principles associated with the claim that he's making. You cannot outrun these principles. You